I am very excited for Bitcoin right now because if you have been watching this YouTube channel over these last couple of weeks, you're going to know that I was actually looking at, this chart right here, where Bitcoin was in a bit of an ascending triangle formation. You can see the support level trending higher. We did fall out of it temporarily, but we're right back into it. And this resistance line offering a nice bit of just, horizontal resistance, which gives us essentially a pattern where the market has been condensing and being compressed towards the upside until eventually we tend to get those breakouts. And if you were watching the last video because you're subscribed, you're going to know that I was saying that right around now is where I think that we could be getting that breakout, which is really exciting because Ethereum had exactly the same pattern on its chart and it has already initiated its breakout. So those of you who have been watching recently are going to know that we've been completely on the ball with this market right here. The market was dropping here. Everyone was losing their minds and becoming very, very bearish. But this YouTube channel, 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗑$this market actually still had a decent chance to continue rising up. So guys, just smash up the likes if you appreciate that level-headed analysis once again. The thing about this market here that's very important to take note of now, in my opinion, is simply that Bitcoin hasn't broken out yet. You see, I mean, Ethereum in this case is actually leading the market, and that does happen occasionally. Take a look at Ethereum against Bitcoin, by the way. Look at that huge spike up. We were finding resistance at the exact level I told you about. I was saying that I don't think this is going to keep being resistance. This was all just in the last video. It's very impressive how accurate it was. I was saying that I don't think this is going to keep being resistance, and bam, we find resistance at my next line. I haven't drawn these lines before the video. I mean, I've drawn them much before the video, like many weeks ago, if not months, but not today. And it's just so impressive how we are respecting this TA. And the thing is I feel like if Ethereum is able to get these very speculative pumps up, well, then it's just got to be a matter of time for Bitcoin. So let's break this down and take a look at what we're dealing with here. This resistance level at 21.7 is going to be the level to beat, in my opinion. We had a fake out before, but before that, we had two unsuccessful attempts. We're on attempt number 4 right now. This would be 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And again, with these levels, I don't expect them to be particularly strong areas of resistance, so I'm not necessarily expecting Bitcoin to struggle here too much. I mean, we have just kind of rallied up in a straight line, so maybe a pullback is due before we actually tackle that level, but for the most part, I think we've got our real chance right now, and I think that Bitcoin is going to be able to break this resistance level, pretty much as I've been saying for quite some time now. If we zoom in and take a look at where some of our key indicators are, 1 hour EMA ribbon been supporting Bitcoin very nicely on the way up, 4 hour EMA ribbon now also flipping bullish. Now, I don't want to focus too much on this stuff because these are, these indicators, they don't work very well when the market is trading sideways, and the 4 hour EMA ribbon is also going to be included in that. But if we do keep trending up, we're going to see a nice spread on the EMA ribbon, a little bit like what we had right here, and that makes it a lot easier to use it. Now, the downside, of course, is that we still have a lot of resistance on this chart. If you take a look at this chart right here, there is this heavy daily EMA resistance right now that could be weighing the market down a little bit. This does stretch all the way up to $24,000 now. It's gotten very, very low. Again, I'm not too worried about this just for the moment. We can keep rising into it. And honestly, I mean, I feel like we're going to be able to break it. I don't have a lot of technical reasons for why, other than, and this is the biggest single one, other than the fact that this is kind of one of the last areas of resistance that stands between Bitcoin and $28,000, right? So I feel like it could and should be a very, very explosive move if we break up, and again, that's something that I've been looking at for a very, very long time. I think it just makes sense. The market has been showing me more signs that it doesn't want to trade lower than signs that it wants to trade higher. One of the things that I just want to, I like to keep things simple. You guys know the deal if you've been on this channel for a while. I'm not here to overcomplicate things. I actually think that TA is pretty simple. I think that technical analysis is pretty simple overall. What I just want to draw your attention to, I almost feel like this is common sense, is just looking at kind of where these highs have been, right? So if I just draw that same 21.7 line right here, let's move this up a little bit higher. Put it up over here, and then we take a look at some of the highs that the market has been setting, so overall kind of setting relatively similar highs, but you look at the lows that we've been setting, right? These lows have been getting squeezed higher and higher. Again, this is the typical ascending triangle pattern that I had drawn on the other chart. This is the exact same thing that I've just drawn in front of you. But the reason I think this is important is this is showing me that, yes, okay, we can't break the ceiling, but our floor keeps getting higher. You know, what does that tell you about where the momentum might be in the market, ladies and gents? I think that's a really, really important question to be asking. I've been seeing that this resistance level is getting weaker. Take a look at this. The first time we hit this resistance, very, very quick rejection. The second time, another rejection, but not as quick. It's not as quick. I've shown this to you guys on this channel before. If we look at how long it took Bitcoin to fall down to its low, let's say to fall down by 9%, in this case, it took Bitcoin a day and a half, okay? It took Bitcoin, what was that, 36 hours. If we look at the same percentage drop for Bitcoin to fall down by 9% the second time, it took 2.5 days. So that's a lot longer. And then in this case right here, we actually ended up breaking above it, you know? So the rejections are getting slower and the rejections are getting weaker. You know, we're not actually getting rejected on this attempt. We only ended up falling down afterwards, which isn't the same thing. So I really feel like there's a good chance for Bitcoin to break up right here. And again, when we start seeing things like Ethereum doing similar things, that's where it gets really exciting. Now, this target that I've shown you guys is very, very straightforward. The way I drew it is simply formed a straight line like this, and then I put this at the potential breakout point that we're looking at, and this gives us that speculative target up towards $1,700, which is you know, something that we were talking about on the last video. It's nice to see that Ethereum, out of this 30% move, has already completed 11% of it, so already 33% correct there for 𝗬𝗢𝗡. Once again, that only took 1 day. That was very, very impressive. This TA, guys, it works really, really well. The market is entering ranges where it's super, super tradable. And I just want to bring this to your attention one final time. This offer with Bybit, where you can get over $4,000 by signing up using my link in the description, ends today. And it actually ends at the time of me making this video within the next 2 hours and 45 minutes. So by the time you watch this video, there's going to be even less time. If you want to take advantage of it, all you need to do is sign up using my link and make your first deposit. That's it. It'll be super, super quick, but you've got to be on the ball with it. And if you are late, you will still get a bonus, but I think the bonus drops down to like $600. So obviously take advantage of this one while you can before it does end. Today is the final day. So let's bring ourselves back to the chart and continue talking about where this might go. You know, if we do the same thing for Bitcoin in order to potentially get a target, I've already shown this to you guys before, but let's just do this again because it looks like it's getting very exciting now. This does give us a potential target of 25.8 whatever $1,000. Again, the reason I haven't kept this on the chart is because, see, with Ethereum, it actually lines up with a very important level, right? This is a, you know, almost like golden pocket zone that I had drawn for Ethereum a very long time ago because of all the support that Ethereum was able to find in this range, even, you know, right before the big drop. This level for Ethereum, I feel is equivalent to Bitcoin's $28,000 level, right? So that's very significant. If you do the same thing with Bitcoin, it just takes us up to 26,000. That's not a significant price area on this chart, so I'm not using that target. And again, I think Bitcoin can and should actually be able to rise up much higher. It is going to be rising directly into resistance, so this is the whole this is the whole dynamic right now, ladies and gents. I mean, you know, if Bitcoin isn't able to pull this up relatively soon, you know, these resistance levels are getting lower and lower, which is not to say that Bitcoin can't fight them, but I would like to see that we're able to, you know, I mean, if this were to happen tomorrow, there would be basically no resistance up until 28, according to this Ichimoku cloud, which would be great because we don't want to face resistance if we want to rise higher. We want it to be a nice, calm, easy ride. Of course, you know, if that did come, that is something I'd be looking at. Now, if we do end up getting a rejection, this box that I was looking at is actually, funnily enough, exactly where Bitcoin found resistance. You know, I would expect that this potentially turns into support. So we're talking about the very high 20,000 range, like 20.8 up to 21, you know, somewhere around here potentially for a bit of support before Bitcoin's able to climb higher. Of course, we're going to see a little bit of that EMA action stepping in at these price levels as well. So this EMA ribbon is going to get a bit of a bigger spread. That's also going to help the market in terms of momentum. Same for the 1 hour time frame. We already have EMA support right here, so that is also absolutely beautiful. You know, and so what I'd be looking at now is just to see, does the market give us some pullbacks? I think things are going to get very, very crazy crazy for altcoins as well. Let's take a look at Solana. Solana has also done very, very well. If we take a look at how Solana's performed just since the past 4 days, it's actually just rocket ship, flew higher. I mean, like 29%, very, very impressive, but it is now at its area of resistance. So that is something to keep in mind. And Solana's resistance is way, way heavier than what Bitcoin or Ethereum have. And that's just purely because it's a small coin. It tanked really hard. And by, because it tanked hard, it's going to have a rough time, continuing to go up, just according to what I'm seeing right here. But I think that if Solana is able to get past 48, and this is very far away, I think Solana is able to get past $48 right here, should be a very easy rise. And the good news is that, there's not really much stopping Solana from getting, basically up to 80 or closer to, I don't know, like $90 even. I wouldn't rule any of that stuff out, but we need to get out of this range first. And it's such a messy range. So, people ask me about altcoins and stuff like that. I'm just not interested in them because they're so messy right now. The charts are really, really hard to read. I understand that you might have a stake in altcoins. You might actually genuinely care because you like the altcoin. But if the chart is not readable, I'm just not going to look at it. And it's as simple as that. When I've got such good options for analysis like Bitcoin and Ethereum, where the charts are genuinely making sense, and we've been on the ball constantly with our analysis on this YouTube channel with these two cryptocurrency coins, I don't know why I should then look at a subpar chart to give me analysis. I already know, I already think I know what's going to happen to Bitcoin, and I've been talking about this the last couple of days. It's probably going to be similar for Solana. Solana's probably just going to outperform Bitcoin, right? So I don't want to look too much at this chart when I have the better charts to read, especially considering that small charts like Solana, smaller coins like Solana, I know it's big, but you look at the market cap, it's not even close. Bitcoin's market cap here at 400 billion, Solana at 13 billion. It's not even 5% of the size of Bitcoin, ladies and gents. This is a very, very small market. I just think that it's better to read the bigger market charts before even considering altcoins. So across the board, yeah, they do look nice. Look at this Binance coin rising up very nicely as well. There's a lot of cool stuff going on in the space right now, but the main ones to analyze will be Bitcoin and Ethereum for me, purely because they are leading the market. So for Ethereum, I'm actually looking to see if we get a little bit of a pullback. I'm not going to talk about this too much right now because I've informed VIPs about a couple things with regards to Ethereum and Bitcoin as well, actually. It's all going off right now inside of 4Fly's VIP, so if you want to jump inside, follow these steps on screen right now to gain access inside of 4Fly's VIP. This is the only way to join. Click on the first link in the description down below. That'll take you to our totally free Telegram channel where you get way more around the clock analysis from myself and my team free of charge. And once you're in there, you can click on my name and then send message to ask me how to join. Very, very straightforward and simple, absolutely no pain involved in this process, and it puts you in a direct chat with me. This is the reason we don't do it through a website. I want you guys to be able to talk to me if you want access to me, and this is it. This is where you can, and of course, if I don't respond, one of my assistants will. But right here, I would like to see a little bit of a pullback. That would be very, very nice. I'm not sure if the market is going to give that to us, but if it does, that would of course be pretty exciting. And yeah, I'm just going to be watching to see how Bitcoin goes up from here. I'd love to see that breakout above this level today. I know this is weekend price action. This is like the only rebuttal that the bears have right now, is that this is weekend price action, and so we shouldn't be taking it into account. But obviously Bitcoin and well, crypto in general, these are markets that function every single day of every single year. They don't have off days, so I personally don't discount weekend trading. I think it's a weak point to point out. I think you could come up with better counter arguments, but right now that's the only one that I see floating around. There's also a huge spike with XRP that just came up. Take a look at this. It's not actually on this chart, but there are some rumors of the XRP SEC lawsuit being settled now or something. I'm not actually sure. Yeah, it's moving pretty quick. There's good headlines across the board. I don't know the specifics here, but The reason I'm bringing this up is obviously, you know, I mean, you guys know me. I really don't care about XRP. I think it's one of the worst crypto coins that have ever been made. But the fact is, this is important for the market. You know, I mean, my opinions aside, my opinions don't matter. You know, when we're talking about reality here, of course. You know, XRP is a huge coin in this market. It's actually bigger than Solana. I mean, that's $17 billion, which is still not even 5% of the size of Bitcoin, mind you. I just want to point that out. XRP used to be number 2, by the way. XRP used to be bigger than Ethereum. That was pretty crazy. And so, you know, if there is a lawsuit that potentially threatens the stability of the XRP ecosystem, but now XRP is winning and XRP is actually looking pretty strong, well, then again, you know, what we're seeing right here, and this is the really important thing to consider, ladies and gents, is that things that could potentially make you want to be bearish are being removed. You know, elements in this market that are potentially bearish are being removed from the from the mix here. You know, and that's really important. If you've got 10, you know, reasons to be bearish, you know, yesterday, but today you only have 6. You know, and yesterday perhaps you had 4 reasons to be bullish, and today you have 8. You know what I mean? Like, it's just going to tip those scales a little bit. And the thing is because there's not much liquidity to be found in this range, you know, you can get really big moves. And again, I'm not saying that 28 is a given. I'm not saying that any of this is a given. You know, I mean, we could just continue the downtrend, and that's what we should do, because this is, you know, I mean, that's not what we should do, but that's what would make a lot of sense, because this is still, you know, one of your typical kind of rising wedge patterns, right? I mean, rising channel patterns, which are inherently extremely bearish patterns. Okay, we're in that right now. We're battling the midpoint of this line. The speculative target we have right now for the top of this range is going to be 23.4. You know, but this is still an inherently very bearish pattern. You know, we're still spending most of our time below the midpoint of this line. Take a look at this. I mean, we spent 7 days right here below this line, another 6 days right here. We compare how long we spent above the line. That's 9 days plus 2, so that's 11 days in total, and 7 plus 6 is very difficult, but I think that's 13. You know, so we are spending more time overall below this line right here. You know, and again, I mean, it's all these little hints that tell us that we're still in a bear market, you know, so I don't want us to be losing, you know, track of that right now. I mean, overall, ladies and gents, not much has actually happened. I mean, Bitcoin is still within the same range that it entered, you know, a whole 29 days ago. It's still trading within the same 22% range. So let's not get ahead of ourselves right now. But, you know, we are showing some really good signs of, I mean, the thing is what we have right here is another potential attack that's being mounted in this market, right? The market is trying to mount an attack on this resistance level, and the question that I'm interested in asking is, how likely is each attack going to be at breaking resistance? I thought that this attack was pretty likely. I think that this one is even more likely, and it just becomes more and more likely the more you test them. So again, the fact that this is number 4 is a very good sign. You know, my key levels will be, like I said, this area for support. If it fails, I'm not expecting this red line to help the market anymore. Okay, we have been in this ascending triangle pattern now for 28 days. Obviously, it stretches all the way up to 44 days, but you cannot reasonably expect the market to keep tracing the chart pattern like that. I mean, it's going to break out, and I said in the last video that it usually breaks out between 66 to 75% of the length of these patterns, and that is pretty much exactly where we are right now, just from me eyeballing it. So it is the time for that to happen, and because of that, I feel like if the market loses this opportunity to break up, it's going to be a big sign to tell the bears that the bulls are not in charge, the bears are still in charge, and they can grab this market by the balls and drag it way lower. So that is something I am going to be keeping an eye on and staying very prepared for. Alright guys, I hope you have enjoyed this one, a very important video. I'm super hyped up. I think Bitcoin's in a really nice position. I love the fact that Ethereum is leading the market. It makes me feel so much safer in my predictions and my analysis that I've been giving you guys today. The dollar also, before I wrap this one up, in a bit of a drop. This is still not a chart that I can analyze, though. I'm not seeing anything significant enough for me to talk about. You look at this on the daily time frame and it just still doesn't make sense. You know, I mean, this is one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life, and anybody else that's been in these markets for any length of time would probably say the same. I haven't heard anybody saying anything different, over these last few weeks. What we're seeing with the dollar is absolutely fucking crazy. What we're seeing with the euro flipping, where the dollar is worth more per coin, essentially, is also absolutely insane. I mean, the last time that we saw something like this happening for the euro, I just want to remind you guys, the last time the euro dipped below that $1 mark, that was in 1999. That was before I was born, guys. That is literally a whole generation ago. It's 2022 now. That is 23 years ago that the euro fell below this level. That is an entire generation apart, and now it's happening again. So these are quite unprecedented times. I have a really big I've been thinking about this a lot, guys. I've spent so much time staring at these fucking charts, reading stuff, listening to economists that I believe are worth listening to, including my absolute favorite is Peter Schiff. This guy, I would do a lot to be able to sit down and have a dinner with him and talk to him. He is one of my absolute favorite figures in the space. I'm trying to get him on the YouTube channel, and I think that what he's been saying is very, very important. So if you guys are interested in that, you guys, the deal. I have no problem in telling you who I learned from. We're all still students of the market. I don't care who you watch on YouTube. Everybody is still a student of the market, and anybody that tries to act like they know everything and they don't need to learn anymore is probably trying to scam you. It's just that simple. So there's no way around it. We all must be students of the market all the time, otherwise it's not going to go very well for us, and I feel like I'm a student of his by listening to him. So if you like my stuff, please go and listen to him. I do have a big idea that came to me the other day with regards to the dollar. I'm not going to talk about it publicly yet, but I will be informing VIPs about that. So that's going to go right inside here. Again, just VIP, for those of you who don't know, this is the place where I'm putting all of my analysis, like absolutely everything. There's nothing filtered. It's all the things that, perhaps sometimes if I'm talking publicly, I don't want to say everything, right? There is no filter for VIP. I say it exactly like it's going on in my mind, and that also evolves into what am I trading. When there's a time for me where I want to be trading, I'm going to be telling VIPs about what I'm doing, why I'm choosing certain levels, why I've decided to manage risk in a particular way, and how that strategy evolves across time. But then also the bigger things that just go on in the background. I mean, there's a lot of different elements to being a trader. You need to be on top of quite a few different things, and I'm giving it all to you. I mean, like, VIP is basically my journal for my trading, so it's all right there, waiting for you guys to check out. So if you do want to get yourself inside, see what's been going on inside of VIP and what's going on right now, then this is the only way to join. And one final time, that Bybit offer, super time limited. You probably, to be honest, have missed out by now, but just give it a check anyway using the link down below. And as long as it takes you to the page where it should say like sign up for I don't know why it says 3,000, because that's way more than $4,000 that you're getting. I think it's like 4,500, but as long as it takes you to a page that says something about 3,000 bonus, you're going to be in the right place. So just check out that link, and even if you're not, like I said, you still get some free money, so it's worth checking out. All right, guys, hope you've enjoyed this one. You know what to do if you have. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the likes even, tick the bell, all that good stuff, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.